2014 was an interesting year for sport. Germany destroyed Brazil on home soil on their way to winning the FIFA World Cup. Rory McIlroy claimed his first Open Championship in Liverpool, and England were crowned world champions in the Women's Rugby World Cup. And that's not even including the Six Nations title win for Ireland, despite England claiming the Triple Crown, Mark Selby's first world title win against Ronnie O'Sullivan, and the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. But what happened in the year 2014 in the world of motorsport? Let's take a trip down memory lane in the first episode of the Motorsport Years. January is one of the quietest points of the motorsport season on track, but off track there's a lot going on ahead of the new season. The year began with the 36th Dakar Rally with 431 entrants at the start, with only 204 making it to the end. Monster Energy X-Rated team took victory in the cars class with Nani Roma and Michel Perrin, with Roma winning for the first time in 10 years when he took a sole victory in the bikes category. January would also see the start of a brand new championship, the United Sports Car Championship, which kicked off with the 24 Hours of Daytona, which is won by João Barbosa, Christian Fittipaldi and Sebastian Bourdais in the number 5 Action Express Racing Chevrolet. February would be another quiet month in the world of motorsport, the Daytona 500 being the highlight, taking place over 200 laps of the iconic Daytona International Speedway in Florida. Hendrick Motorsports driver Dale Earnhardt Jr. would take the victory, leading the most laps of anyone with 54. March would see the start of the 68th season of the FIA Formula 1 World Championship in Australia, with Lewis Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo lining up in the front row, Nico Rosberg and Kevin Magnussen following in third and fourth. Only 13 drivers finished the race, with Nico Rosberg taking victory, and he was joined on the podium by McLaren duo Kevin Magnussen and Jenson Button, following Daniel Ricciardo's disqualification. But more importantly for Formula 1, it would be the first race with the new hybrid engines. Then in April, Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton produced one of the most iconic duels in the sport after qualifying together on the front row, with the German driver taking pole, but it would be the British driver that would take the race victory. Switching to the World Touring Car Championship, and there would be a famous name joining the series as Sebastian Loeb lined up on the grid. It would be a successful switch for Loeb as he took victory on his debut weekend at the race of Monaco. And in the same month, Ferrari boss Stefano Domenicali resigned from Ferrari. I wonder what ever happened to him. The Northwest 200 would kick off the month of May with sadness following the death of Simon Andrews 2 days after a horrific crash during the event. And we also lost Jack Brabham, a 3-time Formula 1 world champion and founder of a Formula 1 racing team. The Monaco Grand Prix will be won by Nico Rosberg, with Lewis Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo joining him on the podium. But one of the standout performances would be from Jules Bianchi, scoring Mauritius' first points in Formula 1 with a 9th place finish. Then later that day, it was time for the 90th running of the Indy 500, with Ed Carpenter being the fastest qualifier, but the race would be won by Ryan Hunter-Reay, who took his Honda-powered Andretti to victory lane. Motorsport didn't slow down in June as Isleman TT took place, where Michael Dunlop took victory in the Superbike, Superstock, Supersport and Senior TT races. The 24 Hours of Le Mans also took place this month, and there was one to remember as Audi claimed a 1-2 finish after an iconic battle with Porsche. Daniel Ricciardo would claim his first Formula 1 victory at the Canadian Grand Prix, following back-to-back podiums in Spain and Monaco, and Sebastian Loeb will be back in the headlines once again, this time for winning the hill climb at the Goodwood Festival Speed in the Peugeot 208 T16 Pikes Peak. Then in July, it was the turn of the Zandvoort Masters, with a certain Max Verstappen taking both pole position and the race victory. Back in the UK, Susie Wolff made the headlines herself, becoming the first female driver to take part in an F1 race weekend since 1992, when Giovanna Amati made 3 unsuccessful Grand Prix qualification attempts. Suzuka also played host to its 8-hour endurance race, with Leon Haslam, Takumi Takahashi and Michael van der Mark taking their Honda bike to victory. And it wasn't the only big endurance race, as the 24 Hours of Spa also took place, with Lawrence Vanthoor, Rennie Ras and Marcus Winkelhock taking the Belgian Audi Club team WRT to victory. As the motorsport season entered into its summer break for most of the major series, they would be also mourning the loss of Bjorn Valdegaard, the 1979 World Rally Champion. September would see the final British Formula 3 International Series race, with Donington Park playing host. Matti Raiola would claim victory in the final two races, with championship winner Martin Calle winning the opener. But as one championship ended, another would begin as the Formula E Championship burst into life for its inaugural race in China, won by Lucas di Grassi. The Bathurst 1000 took place in October and was won by Chaz Mostert and Paul Morris, while Vernon Tan won the final German Formula 3 race before that championship, like the British version, folded. Also in October, Max Verstappen became the youngest driver to compete in a Formula 1 race weekend, as he got behind the wheel of the Toro Rosso at the Japanese Grand Prix during free practice 1. Moving on to November, and the Macau Grand Prix would take place in this month. Felix Rosenqvist would take the race win and was up against some very familiar names in Nick Cassidy, Max Verstappen, Nicholas Latifi, Alex Palou, Antonio Giovinazzi and Esteban Ocon. Lewis Hamilton was able to celebrate after becoming the Formula 1 World Champion for a second time. It was his first with the Mercedes-Benz Works team and beat his teammate Nico Rosberg to the crown. And then it was December, Race of Champions month, as some of the best drivers in various disciplines gathered in Barbados. It was a stacked lineup for the Nations Cup, France having former Formula 1 driver Romain Grosjean, who was racing in the series at the time, partnering European Formula 3 driver Esteban Ocon. Team United Kingdom had David Coulthard and Susie Wolff, while USA had Kurt Busch and Ryan Hunter-Reay. But the Nations Cup was won by Team Nordic, containing Tom Christensen and Petter Solberg, while David Coulthard beat Pascal Wehrlein to the individual title. We know who took the Formula 1 crown, but who took the title in some of the other major series? Here's your 2014 Champions Rule of Honour. So that was the year 2014 in the world of motorsport. Do you have any memories from that time? If so, let us know in the comments section below. But that's all we have time for in today's video. Thanks for watching. I hope you can join us in the next one. Goodbye.